Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another meal prep video. So in this meal prep, I have one brand new recipe for you guys this week, and they are called Keto Magic Cookies, and I'm gonna let you know how they tasted right here in this meal prep video. This video is intended to give you guys inspiration and motivation to meal prep for yourself and your family, because meal prepping / batch cooking saves time, it saves money, and it saves us all from making bad choices. So let's jump in the kitchen and let's get started. All right, so I'm going to start out with boiling eggs in my Instant Pot like I do almost every week. And I put 1 cup of water in the bottom of my Instant Pot. And then I am going to boil 12 large eggs this week. I just press the egg button, I put it on 3 minutes, and then I always get my ice bath ready because I like to put my eggs in an ice bath for 5 minutes when they're finished cooking. And then I like to peel my eggs for the convenience of my family, for just to grab and go. And some of these I will put in bags for, again, a grab and go snack. Then the rest will be used for a different recipe. Next up is sausage balls. I've made this before on my channel, but we're just going to use 1 pound of sausage, 1 cup of almond flour, and then a little over a cup of cheese. You can even do more if you wanted to. I did throw in there 1 egg, a couple teaspoons of baking powder, as well as some garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder, pepper, and then I just went in with the tools God gave me and gave that a good mix. And then you just take small pieces of the sausage mixture and create balls with it, and then we are going to bake these in the oven. This is a delicious grab and go breakfast right here. You pair those up with a boiled egg and it's a delicious breakfast. Look at those sausage balls. You can see the cheese in there. So good. I preheated my oven to 350 degrees and it takes around 20 minutes to cook them to my desired liking. And these ones I actually left in the oven a little bit too long. I don't really like to cook them quite so long, but that's the best part about these. You can accidentally cook them too long and they're still delicious and good. Next up is tuna egg jalapeno salad. I make this all the time. This is one of Oscar and I's favorite lunches ever. So I just cut up 1 whole jalapeno. I took the seeds and the veins out of it. And then I'm going to throw 2 cans of tuna in that container, as well as I am going to cut up 4 eggs. I always use my egg slicer when I cut my eggs into my tuna. If y'all don't have an egg slicer, I know I've said this about a bajillion times, but y'all need to get one because that is like the best creation ever. Just kidding, but it is a great invention. So I am just going to throw all those eggs in there. And the key to this egg tuna jalapeno salad is putting a little bit of mayonnaise in there, as well as a little bit of sour cream. If you guys have not tried that, it is delicious. Y'all need to try it. And then I like to add a little bit of mustard to mine as well. And of course, you can't forget the salt and the pepper. And then just gonna mix that up right there in that container. And that is a perfect power-packed, full of protein lunch right there to take with you on the go. Next up, I have chicken in my crock pot. That is just chicken breast, 4 chicken breasts. I'm gonna throw that on low and I'm gonna let those cook for around 6 to 8 hours because we are making some chicken enchiladas lazy girl style. So I just shredded up all my chicken and then I did cut up an entire bunch of cilantro and I'm just going to put that in there. Then I'm not very good at measuring things out, but I did throw some salsa in there as well as some sour cream. And this is delicious. And then I forgot to show it, but I did throw salt and pepper in there as well for flavoring. You can throw garlic powder, onion powder, whatever you want. And then I just took those egg crepinis and I am just layering them in the bottom of the pan. We are making this simple. Simple is key here. And then I am just gonna layer it almost like a lasagna. So I do the crepinis, Then I went in with the chicken mixture, and then once I got all that down, then I took the green chili enchilada sauce, and I just kind of drizzled it. I didn't overdo it. I just kind of drizzled it over the top just to give it the flavor. And then I went in with a little bit of cheese and I sprinkled that on the top of that. And I did 3 layers like that. The very last layer though, I did put a little bit extra of the green enchilada sauce, as well as a little bit more cheese than the other layers. But this is the perfect lazy day type of casserole, enchilada casserole, whatever you want to call it, and it is delicious and super simple. So that is what it looks like when it is finished. Again, it just basically kind of looks like a enchilada casserole. And I'm just going to throw that in the oven at 400 degrees, and I baked that for around 20 to 25 minutes. You can bake it to however you like the cheese on the top. You know, if you want your cheese a little bit more browned, you can brown it. But again, simple and easy, but yet delicious. Next up, we're going to be making keto lasagna. So this recipe will be in the description box down below, but it's going to be labeled "Where's the Crust Pizza?" You're going to use the crust part of that recipe to make the lasagna noodles. So in this bowl is 2 8-ounce packages of cream cheese. It is a half a cup of Parmesan cheese, 4 eggs, garlic powder, and black pepper. I did go in with my hand mixer just to mix all those ingredients really well. And keep in mind, I did double the batch to this so that way I could get 2 layers for lasagna, so that way I could layer my lasagna. That's why I'm using 2 9 by 13 inch pans, so that way I can get basically plenty of noodles for the lasagna. And I just kind of spread it around like that in the pan. I found that that's easier than trying to spread it with the spatula. And then I'm just going to bake these in the oven. Mine took around 15 minutes, and I did preheat my oven to 350 degrees. Then I'm just going to get my ground beef prepared. So I cooked 1 pound of ground beef. I am going to season that up with some black pepper, some sea salt, and then, of course, I'm going to go in with some marinara. I've been getting that Mezzetta marinara. To me, the flavor is on point. The macros are on point. It only has 1 more carb and 1 more sugar than the Rayo's, but a much better price. And I like to add garlic to my lasagna as well. I love garlic. We are definitely a garlic family for sure. And then just stir all that around, and then we are going to get this all prepared to put it together. If you are missing some lasagna in your life on the keto diet, this is the recipe for you guys. I only used half the jar of that marinara sauce as well. But then once the AKA lasagna noodles come out of the oven, one of the pans we're just going to leave alone, and I'm just going to spread half of the meat mixture over our noodles. And then we are a cottage cheese family, so I like putting cottage cheese on my lasagna. I know some people like putting different types of cheeses, but my favorite is cottage cheese, so that is what we decided to use. And then after we put on the cottage cheese, I just like to sprinkle it with some cheddar cheese. You can use whatever cheese you choose to use. Once all that is on, then I take a knife. I just used a butter knife, and I cut the second pan of the lasagna noodles into small enough pieces so that way it's easy to get out of the pan, and I can just layer it over the cheese and lasagna mixture in the first pan that I was working on. So again, I got this idea from the recipe Where's the Crust Pizza, and try that recipe as well because that recipe is delicious as well. But I am just going to layer the second layer the exact same way that I did the first layer. And again, I'm just going to throw the other half of the meat mixture, the rest of the cottage cheese, and I am going to layer it with some more cheese, cheddar cheese. And again, we are going to bake this, and it is absolutely delicious. All right, so our oven was still preheated to 350 degrees. So that is what I baked this lasagna at. And I just let the cheese brown up just a little bit. And again, I highly recommend this recipe. The kids love this recipe. Next up, I am just going to cook up some taco meat. Super simple. That is 3 pounds of ground beef that I am just cooking up. And I'm going to throw in there paprika, cumin, onion powder, chili powder, oregano, sea salt, pepper, cayenne pepper, and that is basically the main ingredients for taco seasoning. And every single one of those ingredients I put in around a teaspoon. The salt I do about a half a teaspoon, the pepper I do about a half a teaspoon, and the chili powder, we like a little more chili powder, so I add in a couple of teaspoons of that. But this is just delicious, and it's super simple to make taco bowls or to make, cheese tacos, or just eat it plain. We've done that many times. Next up is the brand new recipe that I'm trying this week. These are called Magic Keto Cookies, and I'm just going to tell you now, these are the bomb. These are so good. This would even be perfect for a Thanksgiving treat or a Christmas treat. But in that bowl, I'm putting in 1/4 cup coconut oil. I did not melt it. 4 tablespoons unsalted butter, 3 tablespoons of sweetener, 1 cup of sugar-free chocolate chips. I used Lily's. 1 cup of coconut flakes. Make sure you get the unsweetened kind. And then I'm also throwing in there a 1/2 cup of pecans. I know this recipe keeps getting better and better as I read off the ingredients, and no wonder they're called magic cookies because they magically disappear. Then I also threw in a 1/2 cup of walnuts. And then that was 4 egg yolks. So we're not going to use the whites, we're only going to use the 4 egg yolks. And then you can't have a cookie without vanilla. So it takes a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then I just gave that a good stir. And once it was all stirred up, I just used my cookie scoop. I have a pretty small cookie scoop, so I got more cookies than what the recipe actually called for. And I just scooped them and I put them on parchment paper, and then I kind of flattened them out just a little bit with my cookie scoop. I did preheat my oven to 350 degrees, and I baked these for around 14 minutes. Look how delicious they look, and they're not even cooked. Yummo. And then that was just part of them. The rest of them were still in the bowl, and I had to use 2 pans. But while these cooked, do keep in mind that because there's no flour to absorb the oils, there was a lot of oil on the parchment paper. That's okay. That's normal. That is supposed to happen. So I cooked mine for, like I said, around 15 minutes. And then I let them cool in the pan for about 15 minutes, and then I transferred them onto a different parchment paper just on my counter. And these turned out perfect. Again, highly recommend these. These are great for the holidays as well. And this is the perfect dessert if you're sensitive to certain flours, almond flours or coconut flours or whatnot, because it doesn't take any flour at all. Another winner recipe. All right, so that concludes this week's meal prep. Again, I hope you guys found some inspiration and motivation in this video to meal prep for yourself and your family. Follow me on Instagram and tag me if you make any of these recipes. I would love to know your thoughts on them. Also, tag me and just show me your own personal meal preps and let me know what you're making. I love recipe ideas. So if you have recipe ideas for me, I will gladly take any recipe ideas from you guys. But for now, I think that's all I have for you guys. If you guys like this video, if you could do me a huge favor and smash that like button, that really helps my videos out. Also, if you're not yet subscribed, go ahead and smash that button as well, because I would love to have you as part of my Simply Misty family. And if you subscribe, don't forget to tap that bell so you can get notified whenever I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate every single one of you guys. And don't forget to go out there and make today even better than yesterday. And I will talk to you in my next video. Bye. On my own, but I don't know why. You hit the road, but you don't realize I won't look back when you're around. I won't think twice when